Well, hello. How are you? Look at me. Look at how I'm dressed. I'm going to stand down here for a second. Look at this. I've got a short sleeve shirt on because finally spring has sprung and it's actually warm enough in the morning for me to come out here and just be wearing a t-shirt. Um, so let me get set up. I don't have much here today. I just have my iPad, and Jilleo will be joining us in a second. But let me get all set up, and then I'll say good morning and kind of let you know what's going on today. It's going to be an interesting day today, a fun day, but an interesting day. So give me a second. Okay, Julia's with us. He's just right behind you. We'll make it brief because we got a busy day ahead of us. It's going to be interesting today because we're going to really use the van in a very non-conventional way, but I think it's going to be fun. So first, we're going to go out. It's time to break our fast, so we're going to break our fast. We have to take the van. We're going to head across the bridge, and we're going to go to a family function. So we're going to use the van as a little home base for that. And then this is the interesting part. My daughter is going on a school trip to Washington, D.C., and I have volunteered to be a traffic person. 200 students are going. It's huge. And so it's going to be 2:30 in the morning at the school in this residential neighborhood. And so they're going to have, I don't know, 200 students there, a bunch of cars, a bunch of logistics has to happen. So I have to be there at 2:30 in the morning at the school to help manage all of this. So we have decided that we're just going to take the van and park it there at the school so that when I get up, I can just kind of roll out of the van and go directly to do my duties. And then when it's done and they're all off to the airport, come back to the van and just go to bed. And that should save me a bunch of time, and I should be able to get some good sleep by doing that. So that's the plan. That's what we're going to do today. All right, so it is, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on our road to going to our breakfast place. Julia, did we decide where we're going to go? Are we going to go to town, or are we going to go to the ranch place? What do you think? They're both good. They're both good. I kind of want to show you the ranch place. We're going to go off to see that now, so let's hit the road. All right. Are we good? I kind of did a quick walkthrough. I think everything's battened down, latched down. Looks good.
Looks good.
I think the TV's latched. I think we're good. I think we're good. Now we can't. Oh, sliding doors open. It says I didn't shut it well when I came in. This van's so airtight that sometimes you have to really slam it or just crack open. That's a little tip. Just crack open like one of your front windows, and it lets enough of the air pressure out that it's much easier to shut your sliding door. And that's true on every van. It doesn't matter if it's a Mercedes or Ram or whatever. I discovered where that little squeak is behind me. I don't know if I told you guys. There's a little squeak behind me. Squeaks drive me crazy. I thought it was the table because the table has a little, it slides back and forth. And so, if it gets tight and it just starts, the vibration of the road, it'll start squeaking. So I put some lubricant on the table, and it's still squeaking. Something back there is still squeaking, and I figured out what it is. It's the TV. The TV, something about the TV, has certain vibrations, it will squeak. So I'm going to take a little bit of that silicone spray that we have that I put on the sliding door, and we're going to try that today and see if that eliminates that squeak. But we've gotten pretty good. I mean, when you drive now, you hardly hear any rattles or squeaks behind us. It's like over time, this is one of those things when you get a van, well, maybe you don't care, but if you're like us, you'll create a little list of all the squeaks, and then you'll slowly hit them and you'll slowly silence them. So it's pretty quiet back there now. Like you don't even hear plates or anything rattle. It's hardly anything. Oh man, It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. That's for all of you. All right, change your plans. I was just talking to Jilleo, and I recall that we've already taken you to the ranch cafe with the schoolhouse. I've already shown you that. I'm sorry, you know, old age, it happens. So we're gonna go to a different one that we have not shown you, which is Town Bakery, which is another cute little place that we discovered. And the nice thing about, well, both places, but it's easy to park the van. There's plenty of really nice street parking, safe, and so we can pull right up front and get in there. So that is where we are going to go to breakfast, and it's just as cute. You're going to love it. But like I said, this is one of those things where I love when we take the van out on weekends, because we discover these places that normally we just wouldn't go out and find them, you know. But because we're kind of in the exploratory mode while we're in the van, then we end up finding these cute places. And we're both kind of breakfast people. We love breakfast. It's like especially on the weekend, like it's our way that we like to start the weekend. So all right, we'll check in with you when we get closer to Town. Look at those gorgeous poppies on the right, and we have some on the left too. It is super bloom here in California, so everywhere you look are these gorgeous wildflowers that are just because of all the rain, and now it's warm and sunny, they're just popping up and loving it. It's a burst of color this springtime. Look how green those hills are. They're like emerald. That's where we're headed. We're headed right into the bosom of the foothills there. Well, we're kind of in the foothills, but we're heading more into them. Okay, we're gonna turn around. I don't know if you can see it ahead of us. See all the orange poppies that are dotting that hillside? All right, here we go. Turn this. The other thing is, look at this tight turning radius. I love the ProMaster. All right, you're gonna see Neil parallel park here. Well, it's not really, it's two spaces, so we're good. I think I can just pull straight in. All right, this is what you can do in a Class B van. You just find your parking spot, Doris Day it, as I like to say. This one was not too bad. Jilleo has seen me actually parallel park this thing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. I'm using the 360 camera, bird's eye view, looking down, so I can tell exactly where the space markers are. I'll show you. I mean, you all have seen this on your cars and stuff, but it's just particularly useful. See that space marker on the back, so I can tell exactly. Look at that. I'm in the spot precisely right there. So I've also programmed these hot buttons up here so I can switch to the 360 view really easily. I'm not quite in the space, so I'm just going to pull it up. But look how nice this size van fits in these standard parking spaces. Okay, we're hungry, so we're going to head into the restaurant. It's right in front of you, right behind you. And then we will come back here. We'll see you in a few. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Got a choice parking spot. Look, got a little bit of shade. We fit in a normal space. There's one in front of us here. And then where we're going is just right where those umbrellas are. So honestly, I mean, I couldn't ask for much better parking. We're debating if we want to eat outside. It's a little bit crowded, or if we want to eat inside. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling outside, but we'll see. Huh? that crispy rockfish sandwich looks like it needs to be discovered and eaten. So I'm getting that. Ooh, look at that. Oh my gosh, that looks delicious. That was yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. What'd you think, Jilleo? That was yummy, right? That was good. So satisfying. All right, so now we're gonna head back to the RV and we're gonna find a little spot. Well, we gotta make a little jaunt back to the house. We forgot a few things. He needs to pick up some stuff for his work, and I forgot the coffee creamer and the little shortbread raspberry cookies that we're gonna have. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna find up a little spot to take up our day. I just washed her. She's all shiny and clean. Nothing better than a clean rig. Okay, we are back here at the house, just doing a brief stop just to pick up some cream for our tea time and some little snacky crackers. This is the stuff, by the way. This is what I recommend for any little squeaks you have in here. This is the WD-40 silicone spray. And so this is what I recommend that you use. But this thing is squeaking right now. So we're going to try to quickly get it to stop squeaking. And I don't know what's squeaking, but I'm just going to give it a good spray in here and see. Let's see what we have here. Let me move this back and forth a little bit. Just to work it in. Well, we're going to try that out. We're going to see if that helped the squeaking at all. Well, when we hit the road, we're going to find out, right? That's easy. I just keep it really handy because the sliding door squeaks. So I put it right here where the trash can is, right by the door, and I put it around the rubber seal of the sliding door, and it does help, but I've noticed that I have to do it quite frequently, so I just keep it there because it's handy. Okay, we're on our way over San Francisco. Hey, do you hear anything? Listen, do you hear anything?
I don't hear anything.
I don't hear anything. I think we fixed the squeak on the TV with that silicone spray. Thanks for helping me out there, but that's a nice change. Usually these curvy roads, they're a good way to test for squeaks and rattles, you know, because the chassis frame is like torquing and twisting and all of that. So as you go around corners and brake and stuff like that. But I'm listening, and I'd say it's pretty quiet. This is pretty quiet. Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
There's no squeaking coming, so good for us. All right, we'll check in with you as soon as, probably as we're going over the Bay Bridge and heading through San Francisco. So, see you in a few. Okay, first stop, Cost Plus World Market. So we are here across the bay. It's we got a marine layer here, so it's funny. Where we were was around what, like 75, 80.
Yeah.
And it's 59 degrees here. That's the Bay Area for you with the microclimates. Okay, so we are gonna go, we'll check in, do what we need to do, and then we'll check back in with you. So as you can see, just a regular car parking lot, and this is where we're gonna park the van. So nothing special. Pull it into one of these spots, hopefully, if I'm lucky. And I don't jinx myself. Yeah, I think we should go back to that other spot. Those are bigger spaces over there, and we can just walk 5 minutes, you know, a couple minutes. Let's do that. Okay, we just decided to park here. This is a side parking lot, but you can see, I mean, we're parked in a regular space. and it's not too far from World Market. Sometimes you got to do that because I don't want to be parked where a bunch of cars are going in and out. I just don't want to take the risk. So there's really no one over here, so you can see, and we got our own little space, no one around us. All right, we'll check in with you when we're back. Mission accomplished. So we got all the stuff that Jilleo needs for his first Makers Fair at the Filipino Consulate in San Francisco on May. Well, it's happening in May. So next stop, we're heading to Jilleo's family. There's the RV over there. I don't know if I would have been able to get you in any other color than black. Jilleo's favorite color is black. Okie dokie, it's time for our next stop, Jilleo's family. So luckily it's like 2 minutes away, so it's going to be super easy. But let's head over there now. This is another nice thing about having a van is did a quick change of clothes because we're going to go to this restaurant for the family birthday, and so Jilleo and I are just changing in the van before we arrive there. So the day rolls on. Finally, the marine layer burnt off. You can see the sun coming through the sunroof and everything. All right, check in with you a little bit later. Coming around. Should I park over there or not? They don't look open. They don't even have an open sign, babe. It's all boarded up. Okay, we're here, we think. I don't know if you saw, but the place we're going to, all the front doors are literally boards, like plywood boards over all the front doors, and the little open sign is not illuminated. So we have been assured that the restaurants this is the right place. So we're just going to wait until the rest of our party arrives, and then if after 15 minutes we don't see any cars pulling in the parking lot, then we'll know we're in the wrong place. That's the restaurant behind me. See the doors? They're like all boarded up. That's where we're going. All right. See you in a few. Oh my gosh, look, our little robot arrived, bringing our food. That's us.
So this one. Okay. Yeah, no.
Nice. It's like a whole spectacle. Oh my gosh. Bye. Thanks for bringing our food. Going back to the kitchen. Bye. All right, we're gonna eat now. Oh, there's Jilleo's brother. That's the family back behind. They're all eating. Oh, here comes another one. More food delivery coming in. This is so cool. All right, we're gonna eat now. G, say hi. We have just arrived. We had a full evening of eating. It was so full. It was not. You saw the pictures. It was like nonstop. And then we went to a cousin's house and we had cake and ice cream and all types of other good stuff. So we're just feeling really full. now. We're out in front of the school, actually. I'll show you in a second. And this is where we're going to be city boondocking. So there's another RV. I come by here all the time because it's my daughter's school. So this RV that's behind us belongs to someone in the neighborhood. And so they're obviously not staying in it. It's just parked there. So I know it's safe for us here. So we just kind of parked in front of them and just kind of looks kind of natural. So we're going to be staying in here, and then at 2:30 this morning, when it's time, I will just roll on out of bed, try not to wake up Jilleo, and head on up behind you to the school. So I think if it works, this will be good, because at least, I don't know about for Jilleo, but for me, it will be a lot easier than having to drive all the way back home, which is not that far away, but it is up in the hills, and having to drive that at 2:30 in the morning and come back. So, but it's been a really good day. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good use of, you know, showing how you can use a van in just other settings, like running errands and using it as a home base, and then doing something like this. There's going to be an upcoming webinar that is going to be on the Panoramic. It's going to be a Q&A on the Panoramic. So for those of you who are interested in the Panoramic, thinking about getting a Panoramic, or just just like the Panoramic, register for that webinar. But you need to first go to my website, register for my website, and then you'll see how you can register for the webinar. So please check it out. It's ultramobility.co, and I think you'll really enjoy it, and it'll help me out a lot too. I'd love to see that community continue to grow. That's about it for us. We're really low energy tonight. It's been a long day of driving and eating. Tough life for us. Anyway, before I go to bed, I'm going to take you outside and just kind of show you where we're doing urban camping. Okay, there we are. Jilleo's in the back. And that's a van behind us. That belongs to a neighbor. That's the field for the school, so we're just going to go behind. I'm just going to wake up and just walk over there tomorrow morning. Yeah, we're not really trying to be too urban about it. You can see the lights are on in there. So we're not trying to be too urban about it. But I think it's a good, safe, quiet neighborhood. You can see down the street here. I mean, there's hardly any cars. It's the weekend, so it's a nice warm evening. Look, no cars all the way up here. I think we'll be good. All right. Well, I'm going to go into bed now, and I will see you around 2:30 this morning. All right. Good night. Bye. Good morning. It's 2:30. Jilleo's still asleep back there. All right, I am walking to the school to help get these kids off to Washington, D.C. So, okay, we've all just got our assignments, and I'm a person that holds this sign up that says student drop off. See? And then it tells them where to go. Versus, I have to stand on this corner up here and direct traffic for 200 students. As quiet as possible, they said, so we don't wake up neighbors. Okay, my shift is over. I'm heading back to the RV. This is the last of the cars. We had this whole parking lot filled with cars, like hundreds of cars. It was a madhouse, but it's 3:30 in the morning, and these cars are headed to the airport now, filled with our kids, and I'm heading back to the RV. Home sweet home. Jilleo's asleep. Okay, I'm back in the van, and it's time to try to get some sleep again. So I'll check with you when it's daylight. Good morning. The sun is well up. I needed that. I needed that sleep. Jilleo he's up, but he was so nice because he just kind of let me sleep in. Um, yeah, I needed that sleep after that send off at 2:30 in the morning. But it was nice sleeping here. We're a little bit tilted. You may not be able to tell, but we are a little bit tilted. So in the middle of the night, I ended up usually our heads are this way on the passenger side, but we're kind of leaning down. So the nice thing about this layout is you can just flip. So we flipped this way. So at least our heads were up and our feet were down, and that made it a lot more comfortable. But let me get these blinds open because it's a lovely, lovely morning. Get some light in here. Jilleo will be up in a second. And we're going to make our coffee and do all that. It was the first night in a long time that we did not have to use the heater. So we just turned the heater off, we turned the gas off and everything. And we turned the inverter off. For those of you who don't know, if you don't need to use those things, you can just shut them off. And what it does is, I think in one of the episodes I showed you, it saves you energy. Because just to have the inverter running is a little early. I'm sorry, I'm going into like teaching mode or sharing mode. But just to have the inverter running, it's like an appliance. It takes a certain amount of energy just to keep it on, even though nothing's plugged into an outlet, nothing. It's pulling energy from the battery. And the same thing with the gas. Just to have the gas, not even using it for the furnace or hot water or anything, just if you have the switch on, it's an electro switch. It takes energy to keep it open. And so it's constantly using a little bit of energy. Anyway, if you're super uber trying to conserve energy for some reason, then it's a good idea to shut those non-essential things off if you don't plan on using them, which we didn't last night because it was warm enough. We weren't going to use the electric blanket. We could charge everything, like our devices and our watches and phones and stuff, from the DC outlets in the coach, meaning we didn't need to use the regular AC plugs. So there was no and we weren't using the electric blanket last night, so there was no reason to have that right. Let me get some coffee going. I want to show you too. I got a new coffee maker, so I want to show you the new coffee maker that I got. It's like the old coffee. Anyways, I got a new coffee maker. I'll show you. I'm going to make Jilleo and I a cup of coffee, and then we'll talk in the lounge. Here she is. See, this is the little barista station here we have set up. This used to be our wardrobe where we would hang our jackets and stuff, that it just turns out, I mean, we don't need it for that. So we just keep the jackets just up over the cab, and now we use this. It's a little easier to get the appliances in and up. Down below is the little steam oven, and then this area here is just where we keep the kettle and the Nespresso coffee maker. But yeah, so this is the Pixie. Now this was used before, and there's a little, but let me show it to you. So it's just slightly bigger than the other one, but it's got some nice accent pieces on it, I think, that make it a little more premium, and a little, I think, easier to use in the RV. So the little vanity accent, so this is all chrome, this is chrome, and then the sides here, this is metal, so the other one was all plastic. And what I enjoy about this one is this thing, which is the water reservoir. The other one, when you took it out of the cabinet down below, this was the water reservoir could easily come off and out, but on this one, as you can see, it doesn't. You have to actually open the lid to get it out. So that makes it, and it's got a little rubber seal here. The other one was just plastic. It didn't have a rubber seal. So this rubber seal, when it's closed, the water stays in here a little bit more. And what that just means for me is when we take it out, I can have water in here. And then when I bring it up here and stuff, I don't have to worry about this falling off. I don't have to worry really about water splashing out and things. So that's it. Now, why did I get this one? Because the other one was perfectly good, and I still have the other one, by the way. It turns out that we had a guest at the Airbnb. And there's an espresso maker in the Airbnb. And the guest reported that the Nespresso maker was leaking, quote, leaking water all over the place. And so I panicked and said, oh, shoot, we can't have that. Guests need to have their coffee. So I ran out and got on eBay and found this really lightly used quality unit. This was only, by the way, like 80 bucks. New, these are closer to $300, but this was lightly used. And I figured, you know what, it's just a coffee maker. You put a capsule in here. It's not like there's, not like someone's, sticking their mouth on it or eating off of it or something. So I said I better get it. So I got it and went up to the Airbnb and to put it in. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to try out the old one. I tried out the old one and it works perfectly. There was nothing wrong with it at all. The only thing they were doing wrong is they were sticking the capsule in incorrectly there. They didn't read the instructions. And so now I had this extra one, but I just decided I liked it and I decided to keep it. And so this one's in the RV and the other one's a standby. That's the story of, now you guys know, whenever you see our coffee maker out, you know the story behind it. All right, let me get our coffee going. He's having peaks this morning, and I'm having decaf. So these are our, here. This is, you can tell by the intensity, this is level 9. So he's doing the ristretto, and I'm doing the decaf. Turn that on, here we go. And then Jilleo. This one's a little taller, too, compared to the other. And, oh, and see, it's got the little light on the inside. It turns red to let you know when it's low on water. But yeah, so if you like, I recommend, just look on eBay for a lightly used one like this, and you're going to save yourself a couple $100, and you're going to have a much better cup of coffee. Join me in the lounge. Oh, Jilleo slid in past you. he's here, but he's just across the table from us. We're both having our cup of coffee. We're both a little disappointed. He's a little more disappointed because it's just straight espresso. There's no cream in it because we're not breaking fast yet. So I'm sorry. He wants his cream, and it's the good cream. Remember, it's the Chobani. It's the Chobani yogurt cream. Oh, that stuff's so good. But we'll have that. We will, Jilleo. We'll have that later. So it was a little bit of urban camping last night, which was nice. Have we ever done an urban camping trip together? I mean, I've done urban camping. I don't know if you've done urban camping. Yeah, so this was our first one, kind of close to home, but it was a success. I think it was a good idea bringing the RV here and then just setting up camp. So I literally right behind you could just walk to the school, into the school. Saved me time, saved me energy, and it's just a great use of the RV. I think an everyday use of the RV. Now it's busy. I mean, when we pulled in last night, there was no one really, just that RV I showed you behind us. Now the entire street is filled up with cars. There are people in the park behind you. And it's going to be time here to head back. It has been a great, lovely whirlwind, really 1 day, 1.5 days together using the RV. I mean, we did a lot. We went to across the Bay Bridge, we went shopping, then we went to a family function, then we brought it back here, back across the Bay Bridge. I did a little urban camping so I could see my daughter off to Washington, D.C. So we packed in a lot of stuff, and it was great to be in the van. And I want to thank you for joining along with us. If you get a chance, please join us in my community at www. God, who says that anymore? Ultramobility.co. ultramobility.co. We have a growing community there. People are sharing their stories, they're asking questions, they're lending their expertise, answering questions. I am always on there. I do a daily vlog post. So if you want to check in to where I am or where we are and what we're up to, you get a daily check-in there. And you get early releases of my weekly videos like this, the Ultramobility Van Life. Those release early for free to members, and it's completely free to join. It doesn't cost you anything. And not only that, but I'm starting to offer coaching services there. So if you're in the market to buy an RV, you can book time right from my website with me. And eventually, I'm working on courses as well. So if you want to access those courses, those are all going to be available on my website as well. I would love to see you there. So if I don't see you there, then Jilleo and I, or maybe just me, depending on what his schedule's like, we will see you in next week's video. Okay, everyone, take care.
Bye.
Bye.